What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Mafia Midway, your midweek therapy session talking Buffalo Bills and everything else. Jake, how you doing, my friend, tonight?
Excellent, Mike. I got the Sabres game on right now. They're up 4-2 against the Flyers. I had an opportunity to go to the game the other night as well, and feels pretty good right now. We got two really good teams in Buffalo. Actually, three really good teams in Buffalo if you count the Bandits, who do not get enough love.
Yeah,
So life is pretty good right now. I got to say, I think it's the first time in quite a while that we've had like three successful franchises going at the same time.
I think the Sabres have worked themselves back into playoff
The wild
contention,
card
right?
spot. Yep, that's right.
Nice, nice. Now, unfortunately, I think the game you went to was a loss.
We did lose. Yeah, unfortunately. It's my first loss in quite some time, actually, since
Yeah,
I've been to a game. So that one hurt a little bit, but, a lot of goals scored. It was still 4-3, and, it was seats were great. Can't complain. I got on the Jumbotron, chugged a beer. Life
really,
was good.
really
I sure did. Yep.
nice. So it was a close game. Was it Sabres coming from behind to try to make it close, or was it
Yeah,
back and forth?
it was 4-2, and with like 13 seconds left, they scored a goal.
Gotcha.
And it was 4-3, and then, you're holding out hope that something can happen, but it was just too little too late, unfortunately.
Well,
But right now we're up 4-2, so
yeah,
we'll take
beautiful.
it.
What period would we in?
This is the third period. We got about 5 minutes left or so. So
Looking
not
good,
too
looking
shabby.
good. Amazing turnaround. Simple, an amazing turnaround. You fire the GM, same coach, same players. Yep. What changed? Was it that bad? Were they that dissatisfied with that GM? I don't know how the GM can do it, because the coach is the one that really is gonna, ignite some juice into these guys. But I don't know.
Yeah.
The new GM had a big meeting with the whole team and just said, let's get it going, or else you're going to be out the door. I don't know.
I know. Something. Yeah. I mean, something sparked it, and I'm not going to question it whatsoever. So we'll take it.
Great. Well, Jake, let's get into it. Coming off a big win against against the Jags, which we talked about in depth on Sunday night. Great win. And, we lost some key players in that game. Tyrell Shavers and both Gabe Davis torn ACLs in the same game. Shavers is just an unsung hero. The dude actually played on that torn ACL in the second half a good amount of snaps, Jake. I still don't know how that has potentially happened. I did hear that. I felt like there's pain when that happens, but apparently not in some cases. But still, he had to feel something was off. That dude's out there just playing his butt off. He's one of our best passing, blocking wide receivers. And whenever they throw him the ball, he's a big receiver. I mean, he's made plays, and just love the guy. And he's great on special teams. Just insane to lose. It's just sad to lose him, because he's really been coming on as such a key piece of this team. And then, of course, Gabe Davis, same situation. Another good, been with the Bills, knows our system, great blocking receiver. Unfortunately, he injured his. I think he was injured his knee last year early with the Jags. I don't think it was a torn ACL. I don't think it was. Maybe
I think it was an ankle, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
so that kept him out. Ended his season. Comes back with us. So here we are, Jake, with 3 wide receivers on our current active roster. We've got Brandon Cooks, who wasn't even on our team 5 weeks ago. And then we got Ken Coleman, who's been benched or made inactive for 5 weeks. And then you got the steady, our guy, Khalil Shakir. So, man, how are we going to fill up this wide receiver room for this game this week? What do we got? What do we have?
That's a great question, Mike. Yeah, it is the craziest story of a receiver room I think I can remember in history, to be honest with you. It's something straight out of a movie. Obviously we talked a little bit about Gabe Davis going down with the ACL injury. Way more obvious, this guy, right away, you knew something was going on. He got carted off the field, and you just knew it was bad. But Shavers, he goes out of the game and he comes back in, and, you're thinking, oh, he's probably banged up, but you don't realize the guy's playing on a freaking torn ACL. Now, I will say this, as a guy who also tore his ACL, you are still able to run forward. The problem is you are not able to cut or change direction at all. So shout out to him for being able to do what he did. It's a true testament to how tough of a player he is and how much he truly cares. I love Shavers, and man, I wish him the best. I hope he can stay here in Buffalo. I hope the rehab goes well, and nothing but love for that guy because he really is a do-it-all player, and he's irreplaceable. I mean, you thought maybe Matt Collins was the guy last year who was irreplaceable, and I feel like we have been able to replace him with a guy like Shavers who can do it all. I mean, this guy almost blocked the punt last game too. So, yeah, going to be tough. We did sign Christian Wilkerson to the practice squad, also activated Mecole Hardman, or his 21-day window, I should say. I have a feeling that we'll probably bring him up, as well as Curtis Samuel, who, by the way, had 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown in the last game in the playoffs against the Broncos. So, good history against them. Hardman has some familiarity as well, playing with the Chiefs, being able to play the Broncos twice a year. So I would anticipate those 2 will probably be called up, and we're going to roll with those 5. That being Cooks, Coleman, Shakir, Hardman, Samuel.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, since you tore your ACL, did you know something's off? I mean, the fact that he went back in the game and played, he had to know something's off with that knee, right?
Adrenaline is a hell of a thing. I got to say that. I think, in the moment, your knee is hurt. It hurts. Like the initial shock of it is like you hear something maybe pop, and maybe you try to put a little bit of weight on it. You're able to do so, but again, Mike, it's hard to change direction. So I'd be curious to look at the plays, because I think it was like 22 of the last 34 snaps or something that Shavers was in the game. So I would love to go back and actually look at the routes that he ran and kind of what he was actually doing, if it was mainly just blocking plays or what. I didn't pay a ton of attention to what they were exactly, but I would love to go back and just look at that, just to see if we can notice, if there's any difference in his running and stuff like that. But again, it's incredible what he was able to do, especially at the NFL level. I mean, I did it in high school. I can't imagine doing it in the pros. That's just wild to me.
I think he injured it in the first half on special teams, I believe is what I heard.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Crazy. It's crazy. So he goes to halftime.
Most of the time it's non-contact. That's the thing. Like Gabe Davis, that was very blatant.
Correct.
You could see it kind of happen. And obviously when your knee gets buckled up like that, there's a good chance that it's going to pop or do something or twist or whatever. But with Shavers, it almost seemed like it was more of a non-contact thing. And that, honestly, that's the majority of ACL injuries, is when you're trying to make a cut or trying to do something with your body. Your body's not meant to go that fast and change direction that quickly, especially with guys that are of this stature, right? So it unfortunately, it probably popped when he was doing something like that. The rest is history.
Yeah, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. And by the way, if you can just smash that like button for us, we greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, which I see most of you are not new to the channel, but catch us on the rewatch and you're new, drop a nickel on that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. John Robert, thanks for joining us. As always, who do you think the Bills will have at 4 wide receivers? Jake just talked about that. Almost called him Josh again. Almost.
I love it, Mike.
Mr. Big Al, good to see you joining us tonight. I was wondering where Big Al was the last.
There he is. I didn't even tell him we were having a show tonight, Mike.
Right.
You know what that means? He's got the bell on. So
got the bell on.
If you're out there, check that little bell. You'll know when we go live every time.
Man, Von showing his, his true loyalty here, saying that we would lose by 10. He's pulling for his Broncos, who, I mean, he played for many years for them, but come on, 10
won a Super Bowl with them too. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, John Tyrell Shavers is my favorite. Really busted his tail. Yeah, absolutely. I've loved Shavers. I've been saying early in the season, before the season started, I said I hope he makes the squad, and he did, and he's really come on. So yeah, Nicholas, yep, Shavers is out for sure. He says, "Let's go, fellows."
What's up,
Go KU coming in, say, "Hey guys, rooting for the Bills to win it all," because I like Josh Allen, and you guys deserve one. Yes, please, thank you.
Coming from a Chiefs fan, we apprioate that. Go KU.
Really
Good to
do.
see you out there.
Really do. Let's see who else we got out there. Yep, Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Harmon, yeah. Harmon's got the experience, and again, with Curtis Samuel has experience. Can't stay healthy. Neither of those two can. But hey, we need him for this game, and hopefully we can get through and see what happens the following week. And then we got Weston out there. Good to see you. Yes, Ty Johnson. Do you think they may call up Frank Jr. if Ty Johnson can't go? I think so. I mean, they did it last week, right? And Ty Johnson did not practice, not looking good. Jay did not practice the last 2 days. Let's go through the injuries just real quick. Obviously, Josh Allen was a full practice. He's beat up, but man, what a warrior. What a warrior, dude. Unbelievable. Sabres win 5-2. Thanks for the update, Big Al.
And you know what's crazy about that, Mike? 14 shots on goal. They scored 5 goals, and they only had 14 shots.
That's it?
Isn't that wild?
That is insane.
That's incredible scoring percentage.
Yeah, so we got Bernard. He was limited in practice last 2 days. Epinesa showed up in the injury report. He's been limited in practice the last 2 days with something with the neck. Hairston did not practice. That's a bummer. I was really hoping to get Maxwell back this week for this game, but he did not practice last 2 days, and I don't expect him to practice. Damar Hamlin, here's an interesting. So with Jordan Poyer likely out because he hasn't practiced either. And who you think is going to start opposite of Cole Bishop in the?
I just want to show you this quick, just to give a visual to everybody.
Yeah.
Just to show the long list of injuries that the Bills have, right? So you named a lot of those players on here. So as you can see, a lot of impact players, a lot of starters on that list, right? Now, Poyer does not look good. It does not look like he's going to be playing. No. I know he was week to week. A hamstring is lingering. I think if anything, if we do somehow go to a Super Bowl, there's no way Jordan Poyer misses the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This guy has given too much blood, sweat, and tears to this organization to miss a Super Bowl. So to me, I think if anything, that's when he does return. He's going to probably miss the next 2 weeks. And that's if, of course, we advance to the AFC Championship. Yeah, I mean, this list it's brutal. I think the same with Hairston. Unfortunately, with an ankle injury as a DB, you talk about change of direction, Mike. It's tough. Luckily for us, Trey White has been playing outstanding. And really, I mean, as much as it would be nice to have Hairston for depth and being able to rotate, I feel pretty confident with White and, obviously Benford on the other side. Oliver, his window has been activated. Things are looking good. Things are looking up. But again, how often do the Bills open up that practice window and then activate the guy the week of? It just usually doesn't happen. I feel like with Oliver, especially with the fact that he had bicep injury and on top of that, he had the meniscus surgery, I think it's at least one more week for him. So, it's a crazy list. And of course, you see Josh Allen there, the foot, knee, right finger. This guy's got every ailment you can think of, but it would literally take someone decapitating this man to get him off the field. There's no way Josh Allen is missing a game or missing a snap. That's just who he is. And I love it. I love it for him. You scroll up a little bit here. You see the Broncos injury report. It's crazy what a couple weeks of rest does for you too, Mike. So they were the number 1 seed. They have that full week of rest in addition to the last regular season game where they beat the Chargers, but they were able to rest a lot of starters in that one too. I mean, there's not a lot going on there. I feel like they're going to get Dre Greenlaw back for this game too, which is going to be huge for them. You got John Franklin Myers, who's very familiar with the Buffalo Bills during his time with the New York Jets. And a couple other role players there in Lucas Kroll and Drew Sanders. Drew Sanders, Arkansas guy, huge linebacker for them, and just another addition to the defense that makes it so great. So, pretty interesting. I just had to give the visual just to show people the insane difference in injuries between the two teams. It's wild to look at.
Oh, let me fix this real
Sorry,
quick.
I screwed it all up.
No worries. Let's see. There we go. Back to normal. Good stuff there. It is actually something to see the visuals and see the big disparity between the Bills injuries and the Broncos injuries. Let's say hi to some other folks that have joined us. Let's see here. Let's talk about that. So I know you said probably another week with Ed. How often do they bring him off IR and start him that same week? There may be no tomorrow. To me, Ed's got to go in there. I don't care if it's, obviously it would be limited snaps, but dude, come on now. You get in there. Now I know the scope on his knee was, what do they call it? Not very invasive. So obviously I believe the bicep should be fully ready to go.
Yeah.
So in the scope, I've seen running backs come back after having their knees scoped. I've seen them come back 1 week after. I always remember Marshall Falk. I had him in fantasy football, and he had that happen 1 week. I'm like, dang it. And he shows up and puts up a big number the next week on fantasy football. So he can do it. And to me, it's like, what are we waiting for? He's got all year to heal. If there's anything else that happens, he's got all year to heal. The time is now. I hope we see him. And I hope it's, I don't care if it's 20% of the snaps, 10% of the snaps, bring him on in key plays. Let's go.
Yeah, just even as a pass rusher, like you said, I think that would be incredible. And it's interesting, because John Robert brings this up too. He said, Curtis Samuel's window also opened this week. And I don't think we have a choice but to activate him because we are just so low in receiver depth right now. So it is kind of a tale of two different stories with that. I'm not saying we have a ton of depth at the defensive tackle position, but we actually have some guys that are healthy. But also at the same time, Daquan Jones obviously injured and some other guys that, are not necessarily proven, and TJ Sanders. And I do like Fedarian Mathis a lot, but, he's been primarily a practice squatters that's been called up throughout the year, and now he's on the active roster, and, he's rotated in and out. Larry Ogunjobi, who's kind of been MIA lately. I don't know what's going on there, but would like to see a little bit of him as well. So, yeah, it is interesting. I would love to have him activated, obviously. This is a game-changing guy, a dude that was really having a great season until he got injured. So, yeah, we need Ed Oliver. We need every bit of help we could possibly get, especially against a really good interior offensive line for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good question here from Sports Bro 94. He says, maybe this is Trek Review in disguise. No, I'm just joking. Has Cam Lewis been benched? No, he's not been benched. I expected him to take over for Poyer instead of Hancock. Lewis is like, he's plays special teams. He's that utility guy that can fill in. He's not your best guy, right? But I would have expected this too. I would have thought he would play over Hancock. Now, Hancock, he's taken a lot of criticism for that game, obviously, though, but he hasn't had really a lot of time to start and get that experience. And now with a full week, another full week of practice, again, I'll ask you this question. I was about to ask you before you showed the injury stuff. You've got Jordan Hancock and you got DeMar Hamlin, who's been a full practice. And so who you putting back there? And obviously it's not Cam. So the answer to your question, Sports Bros, no, he's not been benched. I just think he's been exposed at times in certain areas. And I feel like the Bills probably thought they had a better shot. I really don't understand that one, honestly, but I can only think that every time we watch him, he seems to give up a key play here and there during a game. But still love the guy. But yeah, he hasn't been benched. What's your thoughts on that with Cam not coming in? Instead, they put Hancock in there. And who do you want starting opposite of Cole Bishop this week?
It's interesting. I feel like Cam Lewis is actually better playing the nickel than he is at safety.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like he had to come in this year a lot for Taron Johnson because he's been banged up. And I felt like he had a couple really good games. He had a couple not so good games. But to be honest with you, I feel like nickel is just a better spot for him for whatever reason. Also, with the fact that we have Darnell Savage on this roster and, possibly DeMar Hamlin, there's an opportunity for Savage to also play. And he has, about 6 years of experience himself, had some good years in Green Bay and Jacksonville. So this is a guy that does have, a little bit of that experience. I'm not necessarily saying that he is the answer or anything like that, but I would say between him and Hancock, if I'm trying to decide between the two, I would probably play Darnell Savage over him. Hancock, he showed some flashes this year. I just think he's still kind of learning on the fly. He's still young. There's a reason why he's a 5th-round pick. I think he can be a really good player, and he kind of teeters that line too. Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be a nickel? Because he did both in college. So kind of a similar player to that of a Cam Lewis.
Okay, so between the three, Savage, DeMar, Hancock, you want to see Savage out there?
I think you give Savage a run. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. That means, he's already on the squad, so that's good to go. He doesn't have to be elevated. Right. Jessica, good to see you. It's been a long time. I hope things are going well for you, and good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Rather have experience in Bill's system, DeMar, leave Cam for nickel and back up for Taron, in my opinion. Yeah. It's a good point, Jessica. It's just like Jake said, he seems to play really well nickel.
And that's fair too, Jess. Yeah.
It is. DeMar with the experience.
I mean, that's a good thing with DeMar, at least. Like, he knows the system, at the very least, right place, right time type of deal. Not saying he's the answer either. Doesn't move as well as a lot of those other guys, but is a serviceable starter, if you will.
Yep. Yeah, Taron Johnson's he's been playing, but, he's been dinged up for sure. He hasn't been the same this year, but he's given it all he can. So he's still one of the key guys. I would rather have him I mean, there was a point in the season where you were like, we were both like, let's start Cam over Taron Johnson because he
I
was
know it's
struggling,
crazy,
right?
right? Yeah,
But then Cam plays a few plays. But even Taron's been getting beat as well. So it's a tough call there. But I'm still starting Taron Johnson if he's good to
I think
go
you have to.
over
You're
Cam.
paying him too much money not to.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jake, so the receiver is going to be, we're already putting ourselves in the hole. But believe it or not, Vegas has us as 1.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. They're at home, number 1 seed. Sean Payton is 4-0, 4-0 in the playoffs after a bye week. So that's saying something. Yet the Bills are favorites. It's the Josh Allen factor, man. It's the Josh Allen factor.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the show, and I said, man, if it's Mitch Trubisky as the starting quarterback for this team, are we like 13.5-point underdogs? I mean, seriously, like it's probably double digits at the very least. So, yeah.
So, Jake, let's talk about. So last year we played them, right? And we beat them in the playoffs pretty bad.
Yeah.
Here we are, round 2, and obviously they improved this year, number 1 seed, big improvement. What changed on that team? Like, I haven't been able to look at the squad from last year, the squad this year. Did they make was there some big draft impact? Was there some off-season moves to bring players up? Or is it just these guys being in the system together again for another year?
Yeah, I think it's definitely being in the system together for another year. I mean, they were a young team last year, and they somehow they kind of just skate their way into the playoffs at a 10-7 record this year. Kind of similar to how the Chiefs won a lot of their games last year in these really tight, close one-score games. Some would call them the cardiac Broncos a little bit this year because that's just how they were. I mean, I watched multiple games this season where it was that fourth quarter comeback where they rally off this 1-score win or 1-point win even. So, it's I think it definitely is a testament to the resilience that this team has. Their defense has always been really good, but then you add a guy like RJ Harvey to the mix, who's a young running back who can catch the ball out of the backfield. J.K. Dobbins, who was a really nice addition as well. I know he's banged up, obviously not going to probably play. Marvin Mims, who's a really good young receiver and a good returner. Troy Franklin, they have a lot of these young guys that are building this nucleus. And then you also have guys like Cortland Sutton, who have been there, Garrett Bowles, who's an all-pro left tackle, Quinn Miners, who's one of the best guards in football. Like, they're a special team, Mike. And I think Bo Nix has really surprised a lot of people. I think people were super down on him. They were saying that he was overdrafted. He comes out, he has this great rookie season. And I think this year he's really steadied the course. He's had a nice year overall. I mean, 3,900 passing yards, 25 touchdowns. He's leading the pack. He's doing his thing. So, I think just another year in the system and, adding some additional young talent has really helped them a lot. Now, it is kind of crazy because this offense, I think they only averaged about 23 points a game. It wasn't crazy. They're sort of middle of the pack. The defense is really what has won them a ton of games, being able to keep them in these games and allowing Bo Nix to not necessarily take over a game like Josh Allen has, but steady and make throws when he needs to, essentially.
Yeah, so talking about their defense, Jake, 68 sacks on the year.
Yeah, that's insane. It's a lot.
You know what the Bills had this year? Take a guess.
Well, our leader was Greg Rousseau with 6.5, 7? Oh, God, I would say we probably didn't even eclipse 30.
36.
36, okay.
So,
all right, I gave us a little less credit.
Me? 32 less. Now, let me ask you this. So the team that really just was electric, the defense against us, was the Texans.
Yeah.
The Texans had 47.
21 that's wild.
21 less than the Broncos. Josh Allen's been sacked, 40 times this year? Well, I'm not counting the playoffs. Right. I think he got sacked one more time. So 41 times if you include the playoffs. This is going to be a challenge, man. And again, that's why I was asking, what's the difference from last year? I know last year, weren't they one of the top sack leaders as well?
Yeah, they were. And, it was Nick Bonito's coming out year too. I mean, this guy he's a stud. And you talk about Zach Allen in the middle there too. Like, he's really good. And then you pair Franklin Myers and Jonathan Cooper as well. I mean, they are really, really good up front. So it's going to be a challenge. And, I've been seeing these posts about our offensive line and how much they weigh compared to the guys up front for the Broncos and how much lighter they are. So they're saying advantage Buffalo Bills O-line. You know, speed does kill though, Mike, at the same time. So they get the edge there. They're able to get around guys. It could make for a very interesting matchup. They like to run a lot of stunts, and they're very creative up front too. Vance Joseph does a really nice job with them.
We saw that speed on the edges with the Texans, and the Bills didn't make any adjustments and get those guys any help. If it's similar, if you're telling me speed, I would believe we'd take our three-headed tight end room, which is one of the best in the league, and we'll be able to get some help there. And yeah, somebody mentioned utilizing the tight ends. Yep, Big L.
And that's where you'll get the mismatch, I think. Yeah, because those linebackers, they're good, but I don't think they can cover our tight ends. I think that's where you're going to see a glaring mismatch. So I know, Sports Bro, you're talking about the receiver formations and, what we're going to even do, what we roll out there personnel-wise. I think you're going to see a lot of those 3 tight ends, that 13 personnel, a lot in this game. So to me, I think it'll be a lot of bunch and tight formations combined with, just a ton of tight end usage. So screen game's probably going to be live. I'll say that as well. They have some really good corners. Obviously, Pat Surtain, one of the best in the game, coming off a Defensive Player of the Year season in 2024. Still incredible. So yeah, I think tight ends are going to be the key in this one for sure.
Yeah. Jess, let me know what the line is. I checked right before the game. It said the Bills were 1.5. Of course, the source might have been not updated. Yeah. But Jake, talk to me about, so I was really, one thing about coming out of that Jags game, I really expected our run game. It was strength on strength, the best run offense versus the best run defense. And I thought we'd do much better, but they shut us down. It was like running into a brick wall. Like every play, you're like, oh my God, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
Broncos are our top defense, but the fact that they're lighter up front, like you said, that should bode well for our run game. What do you expect to see with the run game versus what we saw with the Jaguars?
I could see a big day from Cook. I really can. I think, especially with using the 3 tight ends, you have Jackson Hawes come in as that extra blocker. You run heavy packages, keep 41 in the game because good things happen when 41's in the game. Reggie Gilliam, absolute stud. Yep. I think it's going to be a bounce back game for Cook. I think he goes over 100 yards. That's my bold prediction.
Over 100, nice. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to leverage him. Looks like no Ty Johnson again. I think we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Ray Davis, I'm okay with Ray. I mean, Ray had that one fumble last week, and I do think Gore, if Ty is a no-go, which it looks like he's going to be, I don't think he was practiced at all the last couple of days, then I think we see Frank Gore again brought up.
I agree.
Frank got some snaps.
And by the way, fun stat line for you to know some trivia about. Josh Allen, the only quarterback in NFL history to throw and complete a pass to a father and a son.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yep.
So, Jake, you kind of mentioned like the changes, or like we said, what's changed from the Denver Broncos from last year to this year? And it was mostly just playing, building that chemistry. Yeah. Let's talk about the matchups on the offensive side for them. I mean, with Bo Nix, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton. How do you feel we match up there on our defensive side of things? And what's their run game look like? Have they got a strong run game over there?
Yeah, I mean, they got some good young talent with the run game. And it's kind of crazy, Mike, because we were so high on this kid, Audric Estime. He's not even on the team anymore. They're rolling with RJ Harvey, who was their 2nd-round pick, who's a really good pass catcher. It's more of like that type of scat back that Sean Payton loves. You have Jaleel McLaughlin still there, and then Tyler Batty as well from Baltimore. He was there, came over to Denver last year. And they do utilize a fullback, Mike, Adam Prentice. So Put some respect on that name.
Okay.
He was with the Saints, I think, as an undrafted free agent, came over to the Broncos, some familiarity with Peyton, obviously. So, it's not – I don't think it's a super strong run game per se, not as strong as it was last season. And I would say this would be a totally different conversation if J.K. Dobbins were to be playing in this matchup. I don't think it's going to happen. So, Dobbins is on IR. I don't think they activate. I think he's just done. He's going to be done for the season. So, I know there were some rumors saying potentially that he could come back. I don't know if that's actually true. Let me see. I'm actually going to look that up. I know he was doing some like work on the side of the field, but he hasn't actually returned to practice yet. But they had been mentioning that, he was heading in the right direction. So I don't know if he's actually going to come back. I feel like they would have already activated him in that 21-day window, and they haven't done so yet. So,
yeah,
it looks like Harvey and McLaughlin will be the two.
You talked about their points per game. I know in the last 3 games they were slightly under 20 points a game. And again, when you have a defense like they do, that can win you a lot of games. Just for some notes here, the Bills average 159.6 yards per game on the ground. And the Broncos are 16th, so middle of the pack there. And they average 118.7 yards on the ground. So that bodes well for us, right? Mm-hmm. Our weakest link has always been our run stopping ability, which, I feel like has really improved over the last few weeks. And there were signs of it last week, but it wasn't consistent. They had a couple nice drives where they were gouging us on the run game, but for a lot of their possessions, we did a really good job against the run. And then let's look at the points per game real quick. Points per game, the Bills averaged 28.3 this season. The Broncos, let me find where they
was it 20. Yeah.
Trying to find them. We're having to go down the list here quite a bit. They averaged 23.6 on the year. So I like our odds with the running game. Again, I love the fact that we got those great blocking tight ends. Yes, Keon Coleman has shown signs of being a really good blocking receiver. It's a big dude. Should be able to, right? I mean, he's like, what, 214, 215 or
yeah. Oh yeah.
Bigger? Yeah. So I don't have any concerns about being able to for our run game. I think it should do a lot better, and that bodes well for us. I don't know what the temperature is.
No, I'm not sure what the temperature is going to be. I actually haven't even looked at the weather whatsoever, and I feel like I should have. Obviously, you talk about the elevation being a factor in this too. Josh Allen said it himself as a man that played at Wyoming. He said, it usually takes about a week to 2 weeks to really get your body acclimated to that, higher elevation. It's definitely different. So it is an advantage. And he's like, let's just not talk about that, because he didn't want to go too much more into it, obviously. He is right. And then you just talk about, there was something I was just going to say, and I totally forgot. Oh, speaking of Coleman and being a blocker, I think this is an opportunity for Keon Coleman to really take a step in the right direction and, I guess, solidify a potential spot for himself on the roster next season. I think a lot of people are ready to move on from him. But if Keon Coleman goes into this game and does the things that Tyrell Shavers has been doing, blocking, being the ultimate teammate, doing whatever it takes to win the game, I think not only, obviously, that's going to show the coaching staff something, but it's just going to do him a lot of good to Bills Mafia and to the Buffalo Bills in general. This is a guy that can really use his size to his advantage. So, a lot of people are upset because we took a receiver that's not a separator, more of a guy that's, the supposed jump ball guy. But we don't talk enough about using that body to block downfield. This is an opportunity to get the run game going. And, we got bigger receivers. That's the one advantage we do have. So, they might not be the most household names, but they're willing to put their bodies on the line, and they are a little bit bigger. So there is that.
Yep. They get it done when it's needed. Sports Pro, I want to talk about this. Sports Pro. It's careful. I keep wanting to say Sports Bra for some reason. I don't know why, but Sports Pro. Last week was a Josh Allen game. I think this week will be a Cook game with Jake. So interesting thing, right? Josh really didn't have to put on the cape last week, right? He just played a great game. Like, he was calling the plays right, reading the defense, taking what the defense was giving him, taking some shots down the field. It was just a masterclass from Josh, and he didn't have to put on a cape. He didn't do anything silly. Didn't go running backwards like 15 yards, taking sacks. And so the reason I'm bringing that up is because we still have, if we need Josh to put on the cape, we know he will. So we are able to win with him just being an efficient quarterback, dropping back, seeing the field right. That play, he threw that 40-yard dart to Cooks there on that final drive was incredible. The whole play call was amazing that they drew up there. But so Jake, we haven't seen the cape yet. If we have to, he'll put it on. But
I think so.
I like the version we saw last week. And that version will take us very far. But if we have to, I know Josh can dial it up just another notch there.
I'll tell you what, this is a man that's had a really nice career against the Denver Broncos whenever he's
Mm-hmm.
played against them. I mean, you think of even when the last time they were in Denver, that throw to Kumaro at the end of the game. I mean, I think that officially clinched us the division and, clinched us a playoff berth. And, everyone welcomed the Bills back for winning the division at the airport. He's had a lot of good memories. He's able to play at the higher elevation, like you said, Mike. And I 100% can see if the Bills are down by 10 or whatever it may be, Josh Allen willing this team back to a victory. So not at all concerned whatsoever about that.
Yeah. So thanks for the weather. It'll be in the 30s. Perfect weather for both these teams, and winds around 8 miles per hour. So great game for football. Great day.
Yeah.
Especially for these two teams. John Robert has a question. Why would they bring Wilkerson in if they're not going to use him?
I tend to agree with this. And, I talked about bigger receivers. Of course, I'm saying this, but now we're without Tyrell Shavers and Gabe Davis. So really our bigger receiver is only Keon Coleman. I mean, Brandon Cooks isn't huge. Khalil Shakir's not huge. They're pretty average size, if you will. Curtis Samuel, a little bit bigger, more of a gadget guy. And same with Mecole Hardman. Not the biggest guy either, per se. Wilkerson, 6'1", 214. In addition to that, this is a man that's caught 6 career passes. 3 of those have been touchdowns, John. So I'm kind of with you on that. I could very well see them just moving forward and maybe activating a guy like that if the run game is a big focus too, because he can block and he's not afraid to play specials. He's done it a lot. He's done it in Oakland or Las Vegas. He was there last season. And then he also did in New England. And honestly, when he was with New England, you saw some flashes that this kid could play. I think that it was like the one game he played in that I would watch. It was like 4 catches, 42 yards, and 2 tuds. So, yeah, why not? Why not, John? I like that.
Yeah, but I mean, they're already bringing up. They're bringing one back from IR. They only have 2 active spots, but they can bring up the from the practice squad.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, if you're going to go with 5 wide receivers, I like the 5 that we've already talked about. And
I do too. But then
and
Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, right?
The thing is, though, like I mentioned, with the Ed Oliver situation, how often do the Bills activate a player in this 21-day window? And how often is it that they play the week of? I know it's playoffs and obviously different circumstances. But Wilkerson, presumably is healthy. And a guy that knows the system, he was here during training camp. He's not as proven as a Curtis Samuel or even a Mecole Hardman. But if your game plan is going to be revolving around, getting Cook more involved in the game and allowing him to go off, Wilkerson might not be a bad option because he's a bigger receiver and he can play specials.
It's a good call. That's a good call. I wouldn't mind it. I do know Curtis Samuel's been a full practice. So like you said, usually they don't activate him. But I feel like this is a different situation with Curtis Samuel. He was just on IR. He was injured. I feel like he's probably been ready to go for a while. They were just looking for an opportunity if they needed him. And the fact that he's been full practice the last couple times makes me think he'll be a go. But interesting, if you want to go just big bodies and just abuse them in the run game, I wouldn't mind it whatsoever.
For sure.
Let's see here. John saying before Josh held on the ball longer, and that is why more regular season sacks. Yep. Yeah, Mecole Hardman is slow.
Yeah,
small. It's not slow.
Let's
get that right. He's
fast,
very fast.
Fast as hell.
Very fast. Yeah. 5'10", 190. He's won a Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes, so he's got experience, which I like as well. Of course, all we've really seen of him is I think 1 kick return and then 1 where he fumbled.
Yeah, right.
Turned them all over.
It's tough.
But so I guess if it was going to be who, maybe it'd be Mecole Hardman that we don't bring up. Bring the other big receiver that we just talked about.
Yeah, Wilkerson. Or, as Sports Bro says, what about Stephen Goatnell? I call him Goatnell, not Gospel. Goatnell. Guy was really good in the preseason. Mr. Number 89, doing that jersey some justice.
I call him the White Steve. What's that all about? What can you tell me about Goatnell?
Well, he's from Virginia Tech. He's a bigger receiver himself. He's like 6'2", 200 pounds. Had a really good preseason. And he kind of joins this long list of names of these underdog receivers that come in, the Duke Williams, the Brandon Rileys, the Felton Hugginses, the Christian Wilkersons of these Bills training camps that shine and do some really good things. And unfortunately, they don't make the active roster, but he is still on the practice squad. So that is an option as well.
Oh, okay. Well, good stuff there.
You know what's interesting? So I had heard another name floated around, and that was KJ Hamler, a guy that was taken in the second round by the Denver Broncos and a man that was really good, I thought, in the preseason for the Bills. Had an opportunity to make the team. I don't know what the deal is with him. I think he did have a workout supposedly with the Falcons in November, but I want to say that he's also a free agent right now. So I had thought that was maybe a viable option too. I was a little surprised that maybe they didn't sign him, but they ended up signing someone that has familiarity, and that's Wilkerson. Now the difference between Hamler and Wilkerson is Hamler's more of a slot guy, smaller receiver, can return. He's like 5'9", $178, Mike. So Wilkerson 6'1", 214. So maybe that does kind of tell you, hey, we want to go a little bit bigger here at the receiver position.
Yeah. So talk to me about how you see this game playing out. Keys to the game, Jake, for the Bills to bring home the W. But actually, before that, let me just say, I mean, there is an opportunity for the first time. Steve, our good friend Steve, told us this last week. Never been two wild card teams in the AFC Championship. I don't know if there's one been two in the NFC. We were just talking strictly AFC. Never been two wild card teams. There's a high probability that could happen this week. And let's just say we beat Denver and the Patriots happen to win. Dude, are you kidding me? Patriots, Bills, AFC Championship. I mean, payback. This would be ultimate payback for all those years. Those years. But in any case, I don't know who I'd prefer. Again, at this point in the time, I'm okay with the Texans as well. I know the Texans, we've had some bad luck in their stadium. We'd have to go there. But again, the fact that we played them already once, and we kind of know what we kind of have to do, and improve upon what we did in the first game. We still almost won that game against the Texans. As bad as you thought we got beat up, almost won that game. So now they'll make some adjustments, and their offense isn't clicking. I mean, Stroud hasn't been lighting anybody up.
Nico Collins has a concussion right now, so
So we'll see. But going back to keys of the game, how you see the Bills winning this one?
Well, you talk about maybe the two best offensive lines in football, or top 5 offensive lines in football. Listen, I know the Bills gave up 40 sacks this year. I think a little bit of that was self-indicted by Josh Allen. I'm not saying they were as good as they were last season, but this is still a really good offensive line. I think they're really well coached. So I think it's going to be a battle in the trenches. And I know that's very cliche to say. You look at the Broncos front, it's one of the best in football as well. But I'll tell you what, I really like our guys. I think where the Broncos can struggle is, defending a running back like that of a James Cook. I think interior-wise, we can take advantage of them. I know they have a lot of speed on the outside, but, Cook is actually a very good runner in between the tackles as well, Mike. So to me, I've been pounding my chest this whole show about how James Cook is going to have a monster game. I think that is absolutely going to be a key to victory for us in this one. And then you got to take advantage of those linebackers. Greenlaw coming off a hamstring injury probably will play in this game. But, between him and Alex Singleton, they're very good linebackers. I feel like our tight ends match up really well against both of those guys. So to me, I feel like, utilizing those tight ends in the middle of the field, opening it up a little bit, running a lot of play action as well, because hopefully the run game will be working and, we can kind of bait them a little bit. We can capitalize on some mistakes. I think you're going to see a little bit of the screen game in this one. I know people don't love hearing that because it feels like we run screen plays way too often. And again, I don't know if it's a level of arrogance or if it's stubbornness, but Brady does love to run the same play over and over and over again. But there is something to be said about that, because you look at what happened in the last game on that touchdown to Dalton Kincaid. The Jaguars thought it was going to be a similar play to what the Bills had called throughout the entire game, and they end up hitting Kincaid and scoring a touchdown, the game-winning touchdown, if you will. So there is a strategy to it. I think defensively, I love what John's saying here. I think you got to be aggressive. You know, you get Bo Nix a little rattled, make him make mistakes. You saw what Lawrence did. I don't think Bo Nix is as good as Trevor Lawrence. I think Nix has done a really nice job coming into the league here, but you got to rattle him a little bit. Now, it's a tall task because they do have 2 first-team All-Pros on that offensive line, and Garrett Bowles and Quinn Miners. So obviously, you having a guy like Eddie Oliver come back for this one would be really nice. But to me, yeah, I think you play aggressive. You can't play scared in this one. You let our corners do their thing, and rattle Bo Nix. I mean, you gotta make them make mistakes, plain and simple. So I think I would love to see that, John. I think you'd be aggressive. You blitz the hell out of them. Go for it.
I was a little surprised because I haven't really followed the Broncos at all. I don't think I've seen one game of theirs. I just hear things, right? Yeah. And I've heard people saying, "Well, Bo Nix, he's up and down, but his numbers are good, dude. He's got more passing yards than Josh Allen. He's got the same number of touchdown passes, 25. Of course, Josh dominates on the run game and the touchdowns, but I was expecting these numbers not to be so good. I mean, he's got a what is it? What's his completion percentage is 63%. Josh Allen this year was 69%.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good there.
Yeah, and so Josh was sacked 40 times, as I said that earlier in the show, and Bo was sacked just 22 times.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, coming into this one, I did the research. I was like, this guy's gonna have less yards than Josh, all this stuff. But no, he's had a good year. And last year, like I said, we pretty much dominated that playoff game. But now we got Bo Nix round 2, so it'll be interesting. I think I'm not so worried. For some reason, with what he's done and the skill players that they have, I haven't really been able to put a lot of points on the board. Something's not clicking for them, so that bodes well for us on the defensive side of the ball. Again, the run game, not the greatest. They're like middle of the pack with the run. We've been doing a better job. Not so worried about that. And our secondary, dude, has been absolutely fantastic. Trey White playing at an all-pro level, playing Trey White of 7 years ago. Let's go, Trey. Benford, solid. Cole Bishop, another level. And then we'll see who plays opposite of him. And then our slot corner, Terrence Johnson. So I feel really good about what we're going to be able to do on defense. And I agree with you. If we get that running game going, watch out.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Runaway freight train.
Yeah, so Sports Pro saying Nix makes a lot of plays with his legs, and they need to keep a spy on him. So is he? I mean, we saw him last year a little bit. Is he?
He can move.
He can move. Okay.
Yeah, he can definitely move. I think he had like 5 rushing touchdowns this year, almost 400 yards rushing. So, yeah, he was. He's definitely effective with his legs. There's no doubt about it. I feel like this is kind of the new age of quarterbacks, guys that can do both. So Nix, yeah, obviously no stranger to that.
Yeah, so he did run for 356 yards, 5 touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
And Steve, good to see you out there, Steve. Now, every time I see Steve, I just want to eat steaks. I'm telling you, I haven't had a steak since the show. I've been talking about it all the time. I'm like, we gotta have some steaks. Get the sous vide. I've been waiting.
Did you get your sous vide, Mike?
No, I've been trying to wait to see if there's any sales that might happen.
Yeah. Gotta wait for the next Prime Day.
Maybe not that long. I mean, I don't know when the next Prime Day is, but yeah, it's good to see you, Steve. Steve says, I believe McDermott will have Nick seeing ghosts by the end of the game with all the looks he will be giving him defensively.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the clip, Mike, but what the Bills have been doing disguising coverages this year. I mean, the Jaguars just had no answers for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, this is a veteran quarterback who has been in the league for some time now. I think he did a lot of really good things this year with Cohen. He's been one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league over the last 8 weeks, and he just had no answers. I mean, he had some really good throws in that game, but, man, some of the things that McDermott was able to do, I credit him a lot. I've seen a ton of growth from him.
Yeah.
I think he's always had it. He knows defense. Like, that's his thing, right? But for him to be able to take over a game like that, from the coaching perspective of it and disguising coverages and looks like he was able to do, it was super impressive. So I 100% agree with you, Steve. I love that for sure.
Yeah, speaking of McDermott, I mean, he's been fantastic this year. Been
Yeah.
aggressive on fourth down. I mean, he's not conservative at all. He's right up there with some of the. I mean, I think we were up there with Carolina at least with the most fourth down attempts going for it on fourth down. And so, and the defense has been stellar. Other than that run game, but again, they seem to patch that up at the end of the year. And whenever we need a stop, they seem to come up with a stop. So I've really been impressed with the team this year and the coaching under McDermott. So for those who always say fire McDermott, come on now.
Not this year. No. It
no.
was crazy to me hearing these rumors about, oh, the Bills could be one of those teams looking for a new head coach, even though they currently have one. I'm like, if you're going to fire anyone, I'll be honest with you, it should be Brandon Beane or maybe Joe Brady, right? Like, McDermott should not be on the hot seat at all. I mean, maybe a little, but from what I have seen this year, it's been really good. I feel very comfortable with Sean McDermott right now. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but I feel pretty good with him as our head coach.
I do as well. And if we let him go, he'd be snagged up with by one of these other teams pretty quickly. But we're not going to have to. He's going to take us to the bowl for the first time under him, and let's go. Big Al says Bosa will have a good game to make up for the bad game last week. Yeah, he was.
I love that.
It was interesting. I mean, on the run, on the sweeps that they were doing, I always saw Bosa getting blown up and knocked. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby Myers just lighting him up.
Yeah, right. So it was part of that. Like, you're not expecting that wide receiver to hit you like he was, but I saw him at least a couple of times. And he definitely needs to have a big game, which I expect him to do that this week. Root did show up on the injury report a little bit, but I expect Root to be okay and be there. So Joe Brady. So that's the other thing too. There was some distractions, even though Broncos had a week off. A lot of the coaching staff were interviewing for coaching positions. So a little, people are always worried about, man, I don't want our guys going on interviews during an important week and distractions. And I don't know how much that takes away from them. Obviously, they got to prep for the interview. Unless they're like you, Jake. They'll be like, I'll just wing it. I'm just joking. I know enough information.
No, that's what I do.
but you know enough information and you keep up and you watch everything, read everything. So there are some coaches that probably can wing it. Like, I'm just going to go on this 2-hour interview and goes well, great. If not, I got something more important to worry about this week. But there were, I think, 3 of the coaches on the Broncos were interviewing.
Who was
Joe Brady, obviously.
Vance Joseph. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if I was a team, and I hate to say this, no disrespect to Brady, but I'm not like eager to sign Joe Brady as head coach right now.
If I'm Joe Brady,
on a team,
do I want to leave?
Yeah,
Josh Allen, like, he makes you look good. You know what I mean? Like and it's crazy because, again, I feel like a lot of people are in Sports Bros corner here. They hope that Brady leaves for a head coaching job because we're just kind of over it. Like, we want a new OC, So
he's been interviewed by Miami and Baltimore from the John Robert, and then so Sports Bro says, I hope he takes a head coach job more because you want him gone, and then Steve says Denver's hard to figure out. They won a lot of close games facing 6 backup quarterbacks as well as the Giants, Titans, Vegas. Times 2 and the Jets, and just know, the Jaguars kicked the crap out of them, whooped them, and that wasn't that long ago. What was that, like 4 weeks ago? I think that happened.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it wasn't 21st. That long ago.
Yeah,
and we beat the Jags, so I like our chances. It's not going to. The NFL. These games have been incredible. I don't expect anything different. It'd be great to get a blowout. It'd be great to be able to relax. Not going to happen. It hasn't happened all year. It's going to be another nail biter. It's going to be a good one. But I do expect our Bills to take it home. And let's see here. Go KU says, if Trevor Lawrence can win at Denver. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying, go KU.
Agreed.
I mean, they didn't just win. They beat him badly. I think Brady loved the Bengals job if Burrow was there. Yeah. Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
for sure.
If you're an OC
Yeah.
and you can go to a team that has one of those elite quarterbacks, oh my goodness, you're already starting out of the gate in a great position.
For
You're
sure.
set up for success.
Yeah. By the way, Lawrence in that game, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Actually, 4 total touchdowns because he also had a rushing touchdown in that game too.
Yes.
Wow.
Nice. Good stuff there. I did want to ask you about, we know Harbaugh was fired. Our good friends have been that are Ravens fans have been wanting him gone for a while. But Mike Tomlin steps down from Pittsburgh. Kind of a sad thing. I've always liked Mike Tomlin, but it felt like, it was time. I mean, he hadn't won a playoff game in so many years. They've gotten to the playoffs and they've had these just mediocre records. But what do you think about that? And do you think Tomlin coaches this year?
I think he takes a year off. I can actually see him going into like commentary or something like that, being on pregame shows or whatever. I think Tomlin is a really, really great leader of men, maybe the best out there. You talk about guys like him, McDermott. I think Harbaugh as well, you could put into that arena. Those guys are very good leaders of men. And, while these coaches, you see these head coaches that are winners, they sometimes can just win because they have talent. They can't always lead a locker room. And when things go astray, there's something to be said about a coach being able to bring everyone back together and being able to keep a standard and, sort of take ownership and take the bull by the horns and kind of right the ship, if you will. And Tomlin did that over and over again. I know, obviously, you talk about them just being a first-round exit every year. Well, guess what? It still takes a winning record to get there.
Yep.
And I can understand, after so many of these seasons, it's time to go and it's time to move on. And I think it was. But also, you still have to get there, Mike. And also, how many organizations are in that position where I guess every year they have a winning record and they don't fire their coach, right? Yeah. I think the Ravens and the Steelers are two of those teams where you can kind of count on them having that good record, being in the playoffs and being steady. So there's something to that, but they might need a little bit of refresher. I think the Steelers in general, I think they've only had 4 coaches since 1920 or 1933 or whatever, something like that. It's actually insane. There's been more popes than head coaches in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, it's a sad thing. I love Tomlin. I'm a big fan. He's a football guy through and through, and his players love him too. So there's something to be said about that. Absolutely.
How crazy it would be if he went to Baltimore and coached.
I know, that'd be something. Bisciotti was asked about that, and he kind of jokingly said something.
Yeah, we'll see him again, if not this year, for sure in the near future. He's, I mean, it's just in his blood. He loves it. Like you said, he's a great leader. So, here's a good question from Big L. How close am I to the Super Bowl? So the Super Bowl's playing up in San Fran. Think of it as like a drive from Buffalo to New York City.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so it's a quick flight. So I'm on a flight here. My airport's close to my work, 20 minutes away. Jump on the flight. Maybe a quick less than an hour and a half flight, really quick. So not far, Big L. I would love to go. So we'll see. It'd be interesting if they went here. If the Super Bowl was here, obviously I'm gonna again. Tickets are insane, but I was thinking, and Jonah was talking to me as well. Dad, are we going back to Buffalo? If Bills, obviously, if they win the Super Bowl, and I was thinking maybe we even go there pre-Super Bowl to watch the Super Bowl in Buffalo, because obviously I can't. I mean, the tickets are going to be what they're usually over $2,000-$3,000.
Let's go take a look on
nosebleed seats.
Yeah, let's go see right now. I can tell you real time what the ticket prices are for the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's going to be something outlandish. There's no doubt.
It is. Big L says, I'm in. You going to go, Big L? They go to San Fran? That'd be cool.
Golly. Cheapest tickets right now, Mike. $6,665.
What? Cheapest?
Cheapest.
Okay. No. Now, if I went there, maybe I can be outside the stadium, but no, I've thought about it. I'd rather potentially go back to Buffalo. It'd be heartbreaking if they were to lose it. But if they were to win, I'm there in Buffalo. I can go. I've always wanted to be one of those fans who meets them at the airport,
Yeah.
and then just be there for the celebration. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let's see here.
Crazy.
Who else we got? John Roberts says he's heard Tomlin is taking the season off. So the consensus is Sports Bro says the Bills get the job done and move on to the championship game. Who do you think will be our opponent, New England or Houston? I'll take a crack here first.
Yeah, go for it.
So the Patriots didn't get to see the Texans like we did this year. The Texans defense is so incredible. Our offense is not. It's going to be a damn close game. I'm going to say it's going to be the Patriots in this one. I don't know why. I just feel the home is their advantage. The cold is to their advantage. I'm going to give them this one and a close one. Obviously, they're all going to be close. What do you think, Jake?
I think you're right. Their offensive line kind of took a beating last game, and they are banged up front. But Will Campbell, man, that man he speaks well, and I know they're going to right their wrong. So I do feel like I feel like New England pulls this off, and the Bills have a chance to have the ultimate revenge, right?
Yeah,
be great.
Can you imagine, man?
Yep.
Man, oh man, I might even have to go back east to Buffalo for that game.
Oh yeah, the story writes itself. The story writes itself.
It does. Ryan says if our defense was more dominant.
I don't know, Ryan. I mean, I think with what we have personnel wise, it's been extremely impressive. I think again, we talk about McDermott, what he was able to do against Jacksonville, just disguising coverages and giving looks that Jacksonville just didn't have any answers to. It was really impressive. Would you like our defensive line to be a little bit better, get to the quarterback and actually register sacks? Absolutely. Would you like the run defense to tighten up a little bit? For sure. But I think, you have to sacrifice one thing to eliminate the other, and what we've been able to do with our pass defense has really, I guess, made up for the amount of damage teams have been able to do on the ground against us. So there is that.
I think too, TJ Sanders is really starting to improve as the seasons went on. He's really been stepping up. Deion Walker, oh my God, what a great draft pick there.
What a gem.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been getting better. Remember, these guys are rookies. Yep. So as the season went on, they've gotten better. In those last few games, we definitely tightened up the run game. Do we have that elite edge rusher? No. Bosa was that a few years back, but he's doing a great job for us, and he still, to me, can be a closer when you need it. And Groot has his games. Great
solid
run.
Player.
Right? Solid player, great run stopper, tall dude, gets his hands up, knocks those balls down. We didn't have a lot of sacks, and then again, with the Bills doing a little more blitzing this year, they're not that dominant-y, but they get it done. I always expect them to make a play when we need a play. So they will balance out. What do they say? What is it? Equal play on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. I think they'll balance each other out. The defense will make some plays if we have to, and hopefully they do early, and we get a nice lead here. Man, I want to relax for once.
I know. Yeah, I feel you on that, Mike.
I hear you, Big Al. 6,000. If 6,000 is the cheapest Super Bowl ticket, dang it, I missed my window. I should have went back in the 90s when the Bills were going to the playoffs. There was one out here in Pasadena. Michael Jackson performed the halftime show. I thought about going to that one, but again, in those times, the tickets were lower. But of course, I was making a lot less money. I don't even think I was in my in the current world of being in the IT world. So interesting time, but that was my shot. Could have went then.
Damn. It's a bummer.
Patriots had it easy against the Chargers. Yeah, it was a dinged up Charger squad. Herbert.
No Rashawn Slater. And
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, exactly, Ryan. If we had a Houston defense.
Oh, absolutely.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. How about your boy, Kalen Bullock, Mike? That dude, he's special, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, that whole secondary is really good. The whole front is really damn good. I mean, they are loaded at every single level on that defense.
John Roberts says Russo had 4 sacks in the last 5 games.
Yeah, that's pretty damn impressive.
It is. Yeah. It is. Let's see. OKU. I am a Buffalo fan. Definitely rooting for New England. Want no part of that Houston defense, especially on the road. Yeah, if I had to choose which one I prefer, it's definitely, I do not want to go and play the Texans. But I feel good if we had to, just because we've played them once. We know what adjustments we need to make. They'll know it. They'll be able to do the same. But again, try to beat a team twice, same season, after you've been able to, play against them and watch some film. I like our chances. But if I'm picking, you're right. Stay away from Texas.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the last time I was looking this up, the last time we actually beat Houston in Houston was 2006. And that was when Lee Evans went off in that game. It's crazy. We just do not have a lot of luck down there for whatever reason. And I know that has nothing to do with now, but something to be said about it.
Josh Allen's first playoff game was against them, right?
It was. Yeah.
And we had that
game.
It
in the bag.
We had that game. I still remember, who was it? Was it Poyer or Hyde that was blitzed off the side and missed? What's the guy? What's the quarterback?
That was Deshaun Watson at the time. Yeah.
And Watson escapes and changes the game. We had that game.
I know.
But, they're due. So let's see. Maybe May will get crushed. Okay, it'll be interesting. I do think I do think they'll be able to handle the pass rush from the Texans. They do have a good offensive line, and Drake May's mobile and gets rid of the ball quick. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said, they haven't played them like the Bills have, so I like the Texans' chances as well. If the Bills defense is the Bills defense another no-name defense, some of the Dolphins 70s defense with no big marquee names that just makes big plays. I love that.
First off, put some respect on Jake Scott's name. Guy's a stud. Rest in peace. He was the Super Bowl MVP that one year. He was incredible. But you're right. I think they are somewhat similar. Very opportunistic. They make plays at the right time when you need it the most. And that's kind of been the story this year with this defense. They are so banged up. And who is the most, or I guess the biggest household name on this defense? Is it Joey Bosa just because of his pedigree?
It's Bosa.
It's got to be, right?
It's Bosa, for sure.
Trey White, maybe?
If you went around the league and you asked people, name one player on the Bills defense.
Yeah.
Bosa
Milano's really good. Benford is an all-pro, but
I don't think
real ones don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
real ones are the only ones that do know, I should say.
Yeah. So, Steve, I do agree with your comment on Tomlin looking like the older brother of Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas.
That's funny. I actually just Googled it, and I do see the resemblance there.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Steve says, I have only one concern about this game. Denver likes to attack the edges and got gashed on the outside by the Jags. Bosa has really struggled to set the edge this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that last week. Definitely had an issue last week.
Very hard time with contain, and there's just a lot there. I think you could still get it done as a pass rusher, but as far as setting the edge goes, you're absolutely right, Steve.
Then Brian says, even if the Pats somehow survive this weekend, it would be very, very costly. Would be super hard to get out that battle without losing at least a couple players. It's going to be physical. They're all physical at this point.
Very physical. Yeah.
That defense of the Texans, you're going to come out of there bruised and battered a little bit.
No doubt. Yeah.
All the injuries has been the pick a name out of a hat defense.
Yeah, every week I feel like it's someone's week, right? This past week it was Trey White. The week before, I don't even know. It was mostly back in the Groot game. Groot, yeah, right. Milano's had his day.
Yep.
I feel like even Cam Lewis, like we said earlier on in the show, he had some good games playing nickel for us early on in the season. Shaq Thompson. What a name. He looks like 2021 Shaq Thompson right now.
He really does. He really does. So he's playing for a contract. He says, look, I'm not done. I want someone to sign me to a big deal, 1-year deal next year.
Right.
Hopefully it's us. I hate when these players have good years for us and we're just not able to bring them back, like Matt Collins and others.
Happens too often.
So there you have it. I think we've covered it all. I'm glad it's on Saturday. Why am I glad? It just extends my weekend to celebrate.
I
Like
love that.
I celebrate Saturday, I celebrate Sunday.
Yeah.
Versus Sunday games. What time's the game at Saturday?
4:30 on Saturday.
4:30 Eastern.
So it'd be
1:30
1:30
my
your
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I do like when they're earlier for me as well.
Oh
Makes
yeah.
it nice.
Romo and Nance again on the call.
All right. I love it. We've been pretty good with them. We've been very good with them, those two. So
yeah.
Let's go. Well, buddy, I think that calls it. I mean, I want to thank everyone out in the chat, and we've gained some subscribers this week, and we're still trying to get to 2,000. We're 31 subs, just 31 subs. So
gotta get
if
there,
you're
guys.
out there and
We
you
need your
haven't
help.
subbed it or our channel, please do so. Drop a nickel on it. It's free. I say drop a nickel. Drop a wooden nickel. Drop anything. Drop your mouse, actually. Just hover the mouse, click it on your phone, your thumb, and share with folks. I mean, I'm sure all of you know at least one person who has YouTube on their phone and can quickly come over and subscribe.
That's right. Hey, Steve, I'm with you. Keon
Yes.
Coleman legacy game. This is where he cements his legacy as a Buffalo Bills, and things turn around for the better. I love it. I'm with you.
Ryan, appreciate it. Great show as always.
you,
By the way, could we just forget about Pass D, then go all out on run blitz every
Sure.
play?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Good luck on Saturday. Go Bills.
you,
Yeah, you'll see us on the post game Saturday, good or bad. I will admit that last game, I don't know, I was in a bad mood for other things too. But if they had lost that game against the Jags, I don't know if I could have got on a post game. Jake, post games are the end of the season. The post games are brutal.
Yep, they
still do it. We still do it just to give our thanks to the team and
take our licks.
It's more therapy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's some of our biggest shows on those post games. Let me tell you.
We always do. People love to come in and just kick us while we're down or build us up or, whatever it may be. It's therapy, but it's rough around the edges. That's for damn sure.
Steve, if this could happen, it'd be fantastic. Fantastic. Don't make me sweat it. We do. Let's go. All right, everyone. Take care. Jake, thank you as always. A lot of fun doing these shows with you. Let's go, Buffalo. Go Bills.
Go Bills.